So if you follow the BootWizard Instagram, you might be aware that BootWizard recently hit 100 videos. We've been going about 6 months and we've just uploaded our 100th video, which I'm not even sure I thought when I started this is somewhere I would ever get to. So to celebrate this, I'm going to do a series of videos on my collection, what I have, and some of my favorite boots that I've reviewed so far. Today we're going to start with part 1, so we're going to take a look at what's in the box. So from this box, I think we have to start with my very first review for the channel. If you want to watch that, I will leave a link. I don't advise it. It's not very good. I'm very nervous in front of a camera, and the video itself, the quality is not great. The audio is terrible, but it is these. Let's get them both here. It is the Nike GS 360. This is one of the reasons that I really wanted to start this channel. Actually, this boot was a big inspiration for that, purely because I loved it so much, and honestly I kind of wanted an excuse to buy it when it was being released. I love the idea of it being a green boot, and I love the idea of trying to use recycled materials, and of course it is a limited edition, which makes a huge difference. I really loved it. So I made it my first review. It actually did very well, but it's not that great. But that's the Nike GS 360, a boot that will always be a little bit special to me because it will always be my first review. And no matter how bad I think that review is, the information's good, the presentation's not. I will always leave it up on the channel as a reminder of where we started. Nike GS 360. Next up, we'll jump into a boot that I specifically bought for the channel, my very first boot that I did this for. This was a boot that I went out and was like, I want this on the channel, I'm gonna go and get it, which I did, and then I never reviewed it on the channel. This boot has scarcely featured on the channel despite it being picked and bought specifically for this purpose, and it is these bad boys. It is the Puma Future 2.1 in this limited edition colorway, which I really do love, the black and gold one. The 2.1 is one of my favorite boots around at the moment. I tried them on previously and I really loved them, and I thought I want these for the channel. I don't just want to be a channel that does Nike and Adidas boots, so I got the Future 2.1s. Now bearing in mind my channel started in February, and I was kind of collating a few things before this, and these boots were very quickly replaced by the Future 19.1, which kind of ruined the whole thing, which is one of the main reasons that they weren't included, was because basically they were old and out of date so quickly, and I wanted the channel to become up to date. I realized how important that was. So Future 2.1s, very underused. And no laces in these, because I tried to make a video, because I did make a video where I wore them without laces, and I lost the lace. Don't ever wear your Future 2.1s without laces. It's a terrible idea. Next up, another boot that I got specifically for the channel, one that I was actually desperate to get hold of, because it was so important that I had this on the channel. That is right here. It's the Superfly 6 Elite, which I think is a phenomenal boot, and one that really was something that I needed for the channel, either this or the Vapor 12 Elite. But in all honesty, I got the boot, and then I had so many other videos to try and come up with and try and make that I never actually put out this video until a long way down the line. The channel had been going nearly 4 months before I actually put this video out, and I'd owned the boots for about 3 months. Completely crazy. But a fantastic boot in a blackout colorway, although I must admit the only reason I didn't get them sooner was purely because I was trying to get them at a good price. This channel is very expensive, as you might imagine. I pay for all of these boots myself, so trying to get a good deal is imperative for me. So getting these blackouts at under £100 was exactly what I was looking for, got them for the channel, and then similar to the Pumas, didn't really use them. I did use them. I made a video on it completely, but I didn't really go to town on them immediately as I got them, as I expected that I would. Either way, phenomenal pair of boots that I'm very happy to have in the collection, and very soon we'll be comparing with the Superfly 7s. It seems only right to transition from my Superfly 6 Elites to my Superfly 6 Pros, which are right here. Now, I got these pre the channel. These were my last pair of boots, aside from the GS360s, that I really bought just for myself, just to wear before the channel really started going. It was really something that I wanted to do. The reason I got these was purely because I tried them on, I looked at them, and they were incredible value for money. They still are incredible value for money. Probably even better now that they're on sale with the 7s being out. I really wanted them. I'd not really been into Mercurials before, but I really loved the anatomical sole plate. They came with the AG Pro stud pattern, which I do love, and they just were a fantastic buy, to the point where I bought the Pros instead of buying the Elites to save the money. Boots are expensive, kids. Save your money and buy the best value that you can. So these were an old colorway on sale in a Pro model. Absolutely love them. I still think these are fantastic boots that you can pick up at an amazing price. Talking of value for money, we obviously have to jump into the Lotto boots. We're going to start with the Solista 2 200, which are these here. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, if you're subscribed, you know that I'm a huge advocate for Lotto boots. I really think they're doing a fantastic job, and they are almost unbeatable for top-level boots at incredible value for money. This was the very first Lotto boot that I had bought in years, like a really long time, and I picked them up for the channel because I wanted to review a different brand. I wanted to review something that maybe nobody else was reviewing, nobody else had seen. These were incredibly cheap. I got them direct from Lotto on sale. I think I paid around €50 for them delivered. Got them in my hand and was like, oh my god, these are so light. Immediately, same day, I was out playing in them, playtesting. These blew me away. They were incredible for the money. Now, they're a very old school upper. They've got loads of Adizero F50 vibes, and I loved it. I loved absolutely every minute of these boots, and while they're a bit old, while they don't offer the same modern technology that some of the other boots in this box, or even in Lotto's lineup do, I have a lot of love for these. The nostalgia value alone is worth it, and for €60, I almost feel like everyone should have a pair in their bag just to use in case their other boots break. These are really great, and I really am a little bit in love with these boots, just for so many reasons, despite the fact that they're not perfect. We might as well go from one Lotto to another. Lotto Maestro 200. What I consider to be some of the best value for money boots on the market. As soon as I had enough money, I went out and bought the Maestro because the Solista was so good. How could the Maestro also not be that amazing? So I went out and I got them, actually in lieu of some other bigger models that I could have been buying and reviewing for the channel at the time. Probably would have got me more views, but I just thought these were such an interesting prospect. So I went into my local sports store, which is actually the main Unisport store in Denmark, tried them on, felt them, was like, right, have to get these, get them right now. Bought them there and then, walked out the shop, came back, did exactly the same as I did with the Solistas, had to get them on feet, had to go and play in them. I did, and I am still absolutely in love with this upper. It reminds me so much of the Hypervenom Phantom 1, which is a boot that I hold in such high regard as a boot, and these do so much of that and more. And for the price, again, these are on sale now for €80, and you just can't complain about them. I really love these boots, and they're another one that I'm so happy that I have in the collection and that I managed to just pick up randomly because I'd once picked up a cheap pair of Lottos to give them a go at €50. Obviously, that then should lead us to my Hypervenom Phantom 1s, which are right here. Hypervenom Phantom 1 is one of my favorite boots of all time. I think that this Nike skin upper is pretty unbeatable. It's not really been matched by anything in my view since it has come out, and Nike were fools to get rid of it for the Hypervenom 2. Yes, it overstretched after time to a point where maybe your boots would become unusable. Mine did. I had a different colorway. I had the original orange and black launch colorway. They overstretched. They're pretty much useless. I gave them away in the end. But I went out and I rebought a pair of Hypervenom secondhand. I still wear these. I actually bought them. They were new, but secondhand from, I don't know, J Mc. They were customized, so I got them super cheap actually, because nobody really wants to rock other people's initials on their boots. I didn't really care, especially for the price I paid for them. These easily $300 plus in the resale market right now, and I paid under $100 to get them brand new, no box. One of my favorite boots ever, right here. If I ever do decide to make a top 5 list of my all-time favorite boots, which I will think about doing, it's very hard to make that video. I imagine these will feature quite prominently. Going from an old favorite to a new favorite, the Oddness Nemesis 19.1. This is, for me, one of the absolute shocks of the year. I was not expecting much from this boot at all. The 18.1 was fine, but it didn't offer anything exceptional. It was probably the worst boot in Adidas's lineup, apart from maybe the Copa before they revamped that. But this, I put it on my feet. It feels great. So I say sometimes to people, I said this about the Vapor 13 Pro. It doesn't really fit my feet. I think it's a great boot, but the fit and everything just isn't for me. It doesn't really work for me. I find it uncomfortable. This is the exact opposite. It's like these boots were made for my feet. I love the touch on the ball. They are a little heavy in the sole plate. They're a little heavy generally. They're not super heavy, but compared to what they should be for something that is essentially a speed boot. But at the moment, these are probably my favorite boot in Adidas's lineup. Now, don't get me wrong. They are not the best boot in Adidas's lineup. I think that definitely goes to the X 19.1. But they are certainly my favorite, and it's another point is I always say personal preference is so important in football boots. I would wear these over the X. Should you pick these over the X in terms of performance qualities? Absolutely not. But they're just beautiful on my feet, and I really love these boots. I really do. 2 to go, and the obvious transition is, of course, to my Nemesis 18.1s. Another boot that I got customized. I didn't get them customized. I bought them customized. So I went to an outlet and they were there on sale with a customization on them, because obviously somebody had bought them with the customization was a problem and they returned them, sent them back or anything. So I have a Welsh flag with AK on the side. Again, incredibly cheap because nobody wants to play with somebody else's flag and initials. I don't really care, especially when I'm buying boots for the channel. So I got these. As you can see, they've not been used that much. I did have a pair of 18.1s that I used fairly frequently, but I didn't love them. I don't love that kind of padded foot squeeze that they have. I don't mind a padded cushion feel on the ball, but these kind of are padded enough to make me feel like my foot's being squeezed that I don't love, and I think the outsole just needed to be improved. But overall, a solid boot, but when you compare how I feel about the Nemesis 19.1 to the Nemesis 18.1, there really is no competition. And that means finally the Magista Opus 1, which I was devastated to learn was being released. I am a huge fan of the Nike CTR 360 line, and I feel like that would probably also make a top 5 of my all-time favorite boots. But I've already listed 2 without really thinking about it, which is why this video might never happen. So this was a Kanga Light upper, which I love from the CTR, and I think is fantastic, combined with speed mesh. The last on this is almost identical to that of the Hypervenom Phantom 1. It might even be the same, and I love the way it fits, I love the way it feels, I love the touch on the ball. Kanga Light is a material that really resonates with me in how its touch and feel works, and it's something that I really want to see brought back on an elite level boot. You can get it on the Phantom Venom Pro at the moment, and that's great, but I would love to see it on an elite level boot. Maybe take the Phantom Vision with the number 2, really revamp it because it's not really worked for Nike, and give it that Kanga-like upper, that real like supple control boot feel from a synthetic leather. I think this is an awesome boot. It really is up there in terms of my own personal preferences, maybe edged out by the CTR, mainly for nostalgia value, but I was pleased this was as good as it was, considering how annoyed I was that they killed the CTR line. That is my very first collection What's in the Box. Let me know down in the comments if you did enjoy it, and thank you to everybody who has been with us from either video 1 or from video 100. Let's hope we have 100 more to come. If there's anything you want to see on BootWizard over the next 100 videos, also let me know in the comments. Remember, as always, to like this video, and remember to subscribe to BootWizard so we can all go together to video number 200. That's all from BootWizard here today. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon.